What's up?
Hey guys, how's everybody doing today?
Well, I'm doing fine.
I'm doing good too.
It's Friday.
Yep.
It's November.
I just got a haircut.
Oh, okay. I see.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah.
I got one too. I got an edge up.
Okay.
I was 45 minutes at the barber, right?
No, same thing. Same here. He was like, yeah. So you're a communication studies major, right? I said, yeah. I'm about to graduate. He says, so that means like you can like talk to girls and stuff. I said, what do you mean? He was like, yeah, like you understand people's movements and like thoughts and stuff. And I was like, not really. And then he says, well, no, I heard this thing that if you look at the girl's forehead, she'll just get weird. I tried it the other day, bro. You should do it.
What?
It's weird.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, me either.
All right, so we're going to get to it. My name's Sherman.
I'm Ricky.
And we're just, chilling out, trying to do a podcast, see where it goes from here. I don't really have a name for it yet. We're just going to wing it, and we'll just get to that when we, come up with the name and figure everything else out. So I guess we're going to just start with the intro. Again, I said my name is Sherman. I am African-American male. My pronouns are he, him, and I identify as gay. What about you?
Okay, I guess that's my cue. My name is Ricky. I am 28 years old. I'm from Asheville, North Carolina, but I live now in Greensboro. My pronouns are he, him, his. Yeah.
What do you identify as?
I identify as gay man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like straight up, like in the category of gay, because there's bears, there's twinks, there's otter. What would you throw?
I know. I was actually thinking about that the other day. I don't know if I am I'm not a twink. I'm not a muscle gay either. Okay. I feel like I'm right in the middle, whatever that is.
Isn't it like a swamp?
Is that a real?
I don't know if that's a
category.
I don't know, but someone's called me that before, and I was like, I didn't know that was a thing. Like you're like a hunk, but you're like not a twink, but you're small, so you're not really like a.
Because also I'm not hairy, so I'm not a bear or an otter, which is like a skinny, hairy guy.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think we're gonna have to do some research on it. I don't know. Yeah. I wonder if we're gonna ask some people like, what do they think we are? Like based on if you saw.
No, yeah, because I feel like. In the gay world, it's so what are you categories, and maybe that's why so many people are like turned off by our culture within our culture or like criticize it because it's like everyone identifies with something and you're in your sect and you're a bear and you're a twink and you're a muscle and you stay here and he stays there. It's really much divided. So I don't know. I'm like, where do I fit in this divide now? And especially at 28 when you're like kind of have already done the whole partying thing, and you did all that and you were really young and you were like, you know what I'm saying, and once again it goes back to like that whole thing in the gay community where it's like 28 is like considered old, which is weird, but that's what like people in our community be like, oh, you're, you know what I'm saying, you're older, and so it's weird to be like, where do you fit in now that those like party and twink days are over. And not necessarily that I even consider myself a twink, but younger. I feel like we always anyone in like 25 and below is like a twink regardless, I feel.
I mean, I don't know. So if someone is like 200 plus pounds and just because they're 23, they're still considered a twink? Because
I don't know. I feel like that. I don't know.
Okay, as someone since you think you're old because you're in your late 20s, I'm
not saying I feel that way. I feel like the community places this pressure on.
So what do they consider you at 35? Dead?
Basically, girl. I don't know how we got there yet, but
I'm gonna probably start picking out my casket.
Exactly.
Sense,
the funeral arrangements are gonna be ready.
I did not expect.
Yes. No. See, I mean, I saw that there was this like meme going around. This guy said he was in Pride in Atlanta, and that. Someone said, oh, I feel like they said that you're a hot twinker or something like that. Are you a twinker? Somehow the word twink came around and he was like, I'm 29. And the guy was like, oh, you're a twuz.
Wow.
So I mean, like, I don't know, Like I said, it's very, it happens.
I mean, I would say I was a twink in my early 20s because I was very slim. I was
Right.
fearless.
Same here, like same.
But I wasn't even active then. Like, I didn't become active in the gay community until 22.
So listen to this. I just found out what twink means. It means teenager, white with no kink. That's what twink
Are you serious?
means. Yes.
No, you're lying. That can't
Teenager,
be true.
white with no kink. So it's
So then I'm not a twink because
so
I'm not white.
same here. Like,
Like,
I'm a Latino brown skinned man. You know what I'm saying? So like we never really fit into that category. So like even whenever I would say if you like looked up porn, twink, it's like always like a white, like a skinny, blonde haired, straight Justin Bieber type look. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I never paid attention to that. I mean, I guess like I said, I was late to the LGBTQ gay community. So at the end of the day, I was just kind of like, oh. I just walked up in the club and was like, oh, I'm gay. But then I got in the club and I was like, wait, there's categories within the gay community?
No, same. I mean, even when I came out, like, my, like, introduction to the gay world was, like, Tumblr. So, like, all every, like, couple I saw on Tumblr, and Sherman even knows a couple, Ethan and whatever his boyfriend's name. What's his name?
Girl, I'm not saying no names. Well, we said
it's the YouTube couple that was like really popular in 2014.
Oh, you're talking about Ethan and Evan.
Evan?
No, was it Evan? I don't know. I know everyone knows Ethan. I don't know the.
Well, it's like that's the name. You know what I'm saying? Ethan and whatever his boyfriend was. But like that was my introduction to it, and like even then looking at it and like versus like looking at it now, I'm like, it was like this like kind of like too perfect couple that you had to like really I guess kind of aspired to be like this is what gay is them two, you know, but like now and even then I knew I didn't fit into that category. But
wow, so we are both gay males. We're both the age difference between us is only a few years. It's not that many. I'm not saying because I like to remain anonymous. I mean, technically,
middle-aged deceased.
Bitch, fuck you. It's not deceased. I am not deceased, okay? I am still a sprite. My knees still work a little bit, so I take pride in that.
No, I haven't having knee problems lately. I'm like, I've been going to the gym. What the fuck?
Well, yeah, you have been going to the gym.
So I'm like, why the fuck is my knee hurting?
Oh my god. So we need to talk about how we met, all right?
Okay.
Because we are friends. I like to say we're best friends. How we met.
Wait, you said we are?
Like, we're like
yes,
best
okay,
friends.
yes.
Yeah, like we're best friends.
I thought you said you weren't.
No, I said we were best friends.
We're not best friends.
Okay, so I'm just gonna tell my end of the story and then I'm gonna let you take over from it at the moment.
Okay.
Like I approached you or I think you approached me. But anyway, I occasionally do drag like once every 6 months. And I went to this local drag place here in Greensboro called Chemistry. And I was like, hey, I'm going to do drag. So I left the house, dressed up in my drag outfit, had my music. I was ready to go.
Wait. What's her name?
Oh, my drag name?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Her name is Victoria Osmosis, okay? Her name came from Victoria, who's always a bitchy person in every TV show. Mm-hmm. And then Osmosis, my favorite movie was Osmosis Jones. So I just mixed the two together. So I walk up in the Chemistry. I'm like, okay, I see the queen who's hosting. I walk up to her. I was like, hey. She was like, okay, I'll come to you and take your music whenever. And I'm like, all right. You know, I'm sitting there. I'm looking around, seeing people. I'm not seeing any other drag queens. And then out of lo and behold my eyes, I see this little Selena.
Yeah, Selena.
In the corner. And I'm like.
Straight up, by the door.
Yeah, I was like, I think she's performing. I think she's going to perform tonight. This is amateur, right? So, like, none of them professionals. Yeah, it was 10 o'clock. It was not.
Barflies.
Yeah, so we were early. You know, I'm old, so whatever. Deceased. So anyway, I'm sitting down and then take over from there.
So Sherman, Victoria walks up to me. It's like, oh my god, are you performing at the show? I'm performing at the show. Mind you, I had just moved to Greensboro. At that time, I was doing drag for like 6 months. So I also was doing drag at this time. My drag name was Giselle Rose. So it was like maybe my third week in Greensboro, and I was like, the last drag show I had was like my farewell show from Asheville. And I was like, I want to get my toes wet in the town. I kind of want to take this seriously. I don't really have friends in Greensboro. So I was like, let me just jump into this new scene and see what happens. Even when I walked in, Ivy was like, oh, okay, you look kind of cute. I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Just like, I kind of, let's see how this goes. I have nothing, just go. Just, went out on a whim. And Sherman comes up, and I'm like, okay, who's this? Like, usually, like, I didn't think anyone would talk to me. It's like a, new town, talent competition, and the girl with the really long legs is coming over here talking to me.
Okay.
Like, oiled up, like, hair all down her face, like, oiled up, ready to go. She's like, she's about to hit somebody. No, but she was really sweet. And, I don't know, from that moment, it was just like, oh, this is a cool-ass person, and it was awesome that I met them in drag. Kind of, I guess, in drag, you feel like kind of more yourself, like different parts of your personality come out, so it felt cool to meet Sherman, Victoria in that moment.
Oh yeah, definitely. I felt the same way. Like when we started talking, there was this level of like comfort. I was just like, okay, here's someone else who's doing this for supposedly the first time. I didn't know at the time how if you had done it before, but like, it was that comfort in just being like, okay, this person is nice, they're cool. Because in the drag community, they can be very shady, vicious, and bitchy. So, it felt good to just feel like someone was just as new to the scenario as I was. And then we had to go back and, we did our little performances. I performed to Tiana Taylor's, oh my God, I can't remember the song now. Now I'm going to have to look it up because you can go ahead and talk about what you performed.
So I had been doing drag at the time for like 6 months, and I kind of didn't really have a niche. And I was just kind of doing random pop songs that I grew up with, and I was like, I've never really explored this feminine side of myself. That was like, let's do like all the early 2000s songs, like the Britneys and the Christinas and Danity Kane. For all you guys who don't know who Danity Kane is, like a really popular girl group in like the 2007, 2008 era. So like the MySpace era, and that was like really big for me during that time, like middle school age. So let me like tap into that and like explore that side of me, and like, but at that, by the time chemistry rolled around, I had been doing drag 6 months, and I was like, I finally was like, oh shit, I'm good at Selena. I did Selena at my last performance in Nashville, and it was well received, and I was like, okay, this kind of you have to follow the noise, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me follow the noise, and it was a good night. But the only thing I will say about that night was that it wasn't really Selena. Like my outfit was nowhere near Selena. It was like this weird blue, like Western thrifted jumpsuit. It was like a weird. It was not Selena. So like it was also a friend of mine had got a video of it, and halfway through the performance, you can hear someone in the audience say, "Oh, that's Selena." But it was "Beady Beady Bom Bom," one of her most famous songs. But the fact that I didn't have an outfit that was of Selena made people confused. I mean, my hair, it was a really shitty, long hair. It was straight out the back. That wig was not of quality at all. But at least the hair was like somewhat Selena. You know what I'm saying? There was a bang. It was black, but it wasn't to the level of like what could have been. But
yeah,
it was fun.
You have transitioned like your makeup skills and everything over the time that I've known you, from the moment that I met you. Like even all of our friends say your makeup skills and the way you dress and look has changed. Unfortunately for me, the song that I actually did do, because I found it, it was Tiana Taylor's "How You Do It," I think it's called. It's a very sexual song. So if you don't know Victoria, "How Do You Want It" is what it's called. How do you want it? So Victoria is very sexual in regards of like how she's presenting. Right. She loves showing body. Very Naomi. Very I don't know. She just like she's everything that Sherman isn't. Like Victoria's outspoken. And she's just like a very sexual person, and she's not afraid to just get out there and like grind and do whatever. But that mainly came from like me coming from a Christian and very conservative family, and just like how I was raised. So when I was able to create this alter ego and do this thing, it's something about drag that was kind of freeing. That was kind of just like everything that you couldn't do as yourself, you can kind of rechannel it and make this person everything that you aspire or can't be. Right.
And I feel like it's from my perspective, I feel like it has to do with sexual repression, especially as queer people. I also grew up in like a conservative area or a conservative in a conservative family unit and like working within the church and like working with like youth pastors and stuff like that. So I feel like it was kind of like drag was like a reclaiming kind of thing where I feel like women have always been a owners of their sexualities, and I feel like it's weird. Some people probably don't see that, but I feel like as queer people, a lot of our heroes were women, especially like pop stars and just like music stars, and like it was like so empowering to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like there should be more on that conversation, but like I just feel like it's just like a taking of a ownership of this your the sexual parts of yourself that you couldn't explore at 14, didn't explore at 15, because a lot of I personally didn't have a sexual experience until I was 21 or 20 at the end of 20. So it was like I had to wait all those years to like really like be sexual, which is like
wow.
Yeah.
You're just a whore. I mean, because I was a late bloomer. I didn't even do. I mean, I was joking. Like, clearly you're not that, but like, I mean, I think I was 21, 22 when I dabbled into the LGBTQ queer.
I said 20. How 2 years is not a difference.
It's a difference. Okay.
No, I mean it was the end. It was the end. It was like 1 month before I turned 21. So like essentially 21.
True. Okay, but you also have to keep the age difference and gap in between. It's like you talking about you. What dating site were you on that you were using to date back then? Like
Grindr.
Okay, that didn't exist
right,
for
you're
me.
Right,
like that
so
wasn't
right.
a thing. I was on a website called.
But
BGC
I mean,
Live.
I was using it on an Android 1, so that tells you anything.
Oh, I didn't even have smartphones, dumbass. You know what? We're not going.
No, I'm
there.
kidding.
But no,
I mean, because a lot of people are gonna listen to this and be like, Android 1. That was the first phone, like the first smartphone I ever had was an Android 1.
You know what? I'm gonna stop dating myself because it comes up every time you talk about things. Every time you say something, I'm like, oh my god, that's nothing. Like I was doing things like the creepy way. Like I was on BGC Live,
right.
and Adam for Adam or gay.com or something like that.
If you want to get into it, we can get into it.
Oh my god, that's a whole nother topic and episode. We're talking about why we got into drag, and now we're kind of like dabbling into the whole gay culture.
I told you this is how this was gonna go. It was gonna go boop, ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop.
Yeah.
You know?
This is yeah, I know. I don't know.
I was nervous at first, like guys, we talked about it even before we like hit play. How is this gonna go? What's gonna happen? Oh my god. But even then, like I've had moments even throughout this first show, like where I'm like, dang, what am I talking about? Is that right? Am I enunciating? Like, oh shit. But I feel like it's a learning process.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm just a little bit more reserved because there's a lot more that like because you're just out there saying, oh, I did this and I did that, and I think the more we do this, the more in like comfortable I'll be, and I'll just be like, okay, well this happened and this happened, but like I also am very like
right. Maybe I shouldn't be giving them everything.
No, give them everything. That way, you know, you're the outspoken one. I'm more reserved. I'm the old. I'm dead.
Girl, he's dead. We're speaking to the ghosts at this point.
I'm done with you. I can't. But no, definitely, you know, I don't know. I think if you want to talk about the idea of like coming out, because like that's I want to start from the beginning of things pretty much. Like just like when you came out, how you came out, and was it pressure? Was your family accepting?
Right.
You know.
So, going back to that thing of like how I got not introduced, but like I finally, beyond porn, I was trying to see who queer, besides myself, who other queer people were. And I was like, Tumblr somehow found its way into my life. You know what I'm saying? I feel like any other millennial on here will maybe relate to this. 2014, 2015, 2016 was an important part of I feel like in my Tumblr life. But seeing the posts, seeing people's coming out videos on YouTube was also really, really big. And just like trying to like decipher and be like, how do I do this? And like hearing people say like, don't do it unless you're ready, because you don't want to get kicked out. And like those were genuine fears that I had, and I was just like, what do I do? And like, am I ready to do this? And like, but at that point, I would just like, nothing's happening. Like, I'm not experiencing anything. Like, there's no, you know what I'm saying? Even French, like, y'all, I wouldn't even tell people, like, my favorite songs or, like, movies or, like, things I liked. Like, that's not, that was, like, it was, like, you have to shrink those parts of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, those parts that I knew were my favorite parts about me, it wasn't seen that way in the straight world or whatever, you know, the heterosexual community.
No, I agree.
But I didn't want to hide. It just was like, I don't want to hide anymore. I don't want to hide. I want to show the world who I am. I feel like I was just like someone was playing me on a string and I was just like playing this part that was very, very boring. Like, very, very boring. So, it was, the first person I came out to was my sister, my little sister, younger than me. And I just remember walking into her room and being like, Vanessa, I'm gay. And it was like, it took me forever to say it even. And then we just stood in silence for like 5 minutes and just stared at each other.
And
like, quiet.
Nothing happened? Like,
nothing, it just like walked over next door and she was just like, oh. Well, she kind of was shocked, but I was like, Vanessa, I've been showing you, like, women close like this. Girl, we used to vibe out to, like, the songs. You know what I'm saying? The girls back, you know what I'm saying? We used to vibe out to the girls back in the day. Like, stop, you know?
So what about your parents? Was that, like, recent or was that, like, years later?
No, so it really was just like everyone is gonna know because I'm tired of hiding.
Oh, wow.
Like, I'm just like, it's like, everyone's gonna know. So, I forgot now, the order I forgot. Told my brother, told my sister, happened, like, but I also have 10 people in my family. So I wasn't telling everybody. But I told the 4 closest people that I was closest to. I told my mom before I told everyone. Everyone happened on Facebook. July 9th, 2014, I believe. I can pull it up real quick. I think it was July 9th, 2014. Let me check. July 6th, 2014. I did a whole post. Y'all want to read it?
Oh,
should I read it or no?
Go ahead, read your post.
I could read it. I mean,
read your post.
Okay.
Have your moment.
So basically, I'm gonna have my moment and need it too. I've always felt a tremendous amount of fear my entire life when it came to who I was. I always felt lesser than because I wasn't like everyone else, but I tried to be and it sucked. I didn't want to be judged for who I was, and so I found comfort in isolation. I was literally happy with people making me whatever they wanted me to be. I recently realized that it didn't matter what anyone else thought of me, but what I thought of myself. I've wanted to say is I'm gay and I deserve happiness in my life. I've been hiding from my true existence and I won't be ashamed anymore. So after that, it was just like a whole hellstorm. Like, hellstorm. Everything's so dramatic back then, I feel like. But, like, my brother ended up calling it was a moment. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it was a moment. Like, people were mad. People were calling people and, like, blah, blah, blah. And, like, is this real? Like I said, this could be a whole segment around trauma that we can revisit later, I feel like.
Of course.
But I told my mom before. She was okay with it. People found out. She kind of was like, keep the business to yourself, kind of. But for me, it was a no. Like, queer people, we're strong. We're resilient. You know what I'm saying? We can deal with things. And I was like, this is my life. Like, this isn't a joke. This is not a joke. Like, this is who I am. I can do this. And it had been my whole life, and like fear and like overthinking and not being real, not being genuine. Like, I didn't want to live a life where I woke up one day and I was 50, married to a woman with a whole bunch of kids and being like, this is like, what? I could never imagine living a fake life like that. That would have been too much. Like, I knew I couldn't marry, date a woman, be with a woman, and then one day be like, oh, that was all a lying ass mess, and I never found you sexually attractive. I never, you know what I'm saying?
So have you been with a woman?
Only thing I ever did was kiss a girl, like in not middle school. I went on a date with her. It was like high school, junior year, senior year, and we kissed, and I was just like, it's not it. I didn't like it. It was like, and then she was the one who initiated it, and it was just not it. I was like, what do you do with that?
It's like in a movie when you kiss someone. In the movies when they kiss someone, and then it's clearly like there's no spark, there's no nothing.
No,
there.
it was no nothing. Like
it was bland.
It was bland.
Unseasoned.
It was unseasoned chicken. There was no sazon. It was not it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
yeah.
That's a good thing though. Like it seemed like your family was very accepting. There was like no crazy backlash or anything. Like hopefully, you didn't go into details like about every individual person, but at least clearly you're still alive today.
Right. No, exactly. And I feel like that was one of the initial things. He was like, "Oh, am I gonna be alive after this?" Or it's like. And once again, this goes back to that like younger where you over dramatize everything, and luckily nothing like that happened. But on another note, Sherman, I want to hear from you. What was your experience like? Like what was yours like, and how was it different from mine? Because I know yours was from the 1800s.
Okay. You're gonna stop trying to read it from filth, all right?
No, I'm just kidding. But also,
I don't know. It's fine. Okay, so pretty much, I came out. I was like 21 or 22. I can't remember the exact age. I mean, it was so long ago. But when I came out, I like went home for Thanksgiving or something, and I had brought the guy that I was dating at the time. But I didn't introduce him as the guy I was dating.
Okay, so he was your friend.
Yes, he was my friend. And so we went back. I was just like, all right. I called my mom up. I was like, Mom, hey, listen, that guy that I brought home, he was my boyfriend. She immediately started quoting Bible scriptures.
So that was right after you had gone back home from school.
Yeah.
So you went back
to school.
Okay.
So once I got back to school, I was comfortable. I was thinking in my head, I was like, you know what? I think it's time. So I called my mom up. While I was walking on campus, like I didn't even like get to a safe location where nobody could hear me. I was just like, I'm just gonna call her right now. Called her, told her. She quoted a Bible scripture, and she started to say something about Jesus, and then I hung up. And then she called me back.
Yeah, no.
And she was just kind of like, hey, listen, we can talk about this, da-da-da-da-da. And I just said, listen, Mom, I only called you because I'm telling you out of respect. Like, you're my mom. Like, I'm not looking for validation. I'm not looking for you to tell me it's okay. All I'm doing is telling you because you're my mom, I love you, and da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
And then I came out to my brothers and sisters. Like, I don't even think I had to come out to them. I think it's one of those things where it's just they knew. Especially my oldest brother.
Right.
He knew. Like, I had lived with him for a while, so he knew. I think he had ideas, but he knew. My brothers and sisters didn't care. My family's always been just open and accepting.
It was, right.
Yeah, like, even though I come from a very religious background, my mom was a minister, my dad was like played instruments in church, and we went from church to church, helping smaller churches with music and stuff. Like, my parents just said, listen, we raised you according to how we were raised and what we believe, but you're still our son. We still love you, and we're not going to treat you different. And that's one thing I can't say I respect about my parents. And I was very lucky or blessed, whichever way you float, whether you're religious or not. At the end of the day, I just had this support system that while they might not agree, they say blood and love is thicker than what other people say or what other people's agendas are. And my mom and dad have always been like free thinkers. They've never been the judging type. They don't believe in judging people. They believe in just like live your life. You have the answer for your choices. And at the same time, like, my grandma knew, my grandma found out, all my family members found out, but like I just don't care. Like, what are you gonna do to me?
Right.
I've done more damage to myself dealing with the mental turmoil. Like, before you even come out, you got to realize something about LGBT people.
Right.
We go through the struggle mentally, internally, before we even come to you to tell you. So while, yeah, it might be hard for us, we might be emotional, we might not care, it can be different emotions, but we have to internally battle with ourselves, with whatever. Not even like, oh, it's wrong we're battling with ourselves, but it's like, you're raised in most scenarios to believe that something's wrong, it's not right, or you're different, you don't know why you're different, and then you come to terms with your sexuality or that you're attracted to guys. It's just a whole spectrum. It's actually just a big rainbow of so many possibilities of how you can be affected and how you come out. Right. So for me, luckily, I had a supportive family, and I just told people, and now I don't care. Like, what are you going to do to me? Nothing. Right. You could try to fight me, but whatever. Good luck.
I feel like you made a really important thing. In your story, you said something about like you did when your mom called you. You were not looking for validation for her to say it was okay. Like elaborate more on that.
So my mom and dad have always known I'm like a headstrong person. When it comes to me,
Right.
it's just kind of like it's not like my way or the highway because I can see people's point of view, but like something traumatic happened to me when I was younger, right? Like I was in church, I was active in church, I sang in the choir, I did so many things. So when I started to become sexually attracted or noticed my sexual attraction to men,
Right.
I confided in my pastor, right? So my pastor was like, "Okay, come to my office and we'll talk about it every other Sunday." I can't remember the exact like rotation of how many times I talked to him, but I opened up to him about like just being attracted to guys and these
Right.
feelings and these thoughts that would come in my head. So he would suggest things like read the Bible, rebuke the devil, do so many other things, and this was throughout periods of weeks or so
Right.
that I would talk to him. And then one day he called me to the front of the church. Mind you, I'm living in a small town in the country, so
Right.
all of my family members go to this church. It's a small town. Everybody that I know is in this church. I'm standing at the front of the church, and I'm thinking he's just going to pray for me because we've been praying every time
Right.
and every day. And out of nowhere, he just begins to say, Sherman has been dealing with homosexuality.
Oh my god. You were how old?
Ah, man, I was in high school. I might have been like 16
Don't
or
even
15.
like don't. I cannot even imagine anyone knowing at 16. Like I can't. Like I would have died. I would have died.
Oh no, and to this very day, whenever I tell people about that moment that happened to me, I tell them like in that moment, being as dramatic as I was and as young as I was,
Right.
like I confided in you. Like I was crying.
And was it like audience gasp? Like
Nobody gasped. People just look like luckily in the black community, homosexuality is not something they're very knowledgeable about. Oh,
Right.
not back then. Okay, so it was just kind of like an unspoken thing.
Right.
So it was just kind of like, okay, well, the pastor's probably going to pray the demon out of him, or
Right.
whatever. So I'm standing there, but mind you, imagine this. This information is just released. Your mom, your dad, your brothers, your
And
sisters,
you're looking
your
at
aunts,
everybody.
I'm standing and
Looking at everybody.
and I'm crying, and like he puts his hand on my head and pushed me back, kind of like you see in those
Right.
videos, like they do in black churches, and like I fall to the ground. I'm assuming everybody's assuming, oh, he's been touched by the Holy Spirit. But the only thing I can think about is like it felt like time was moving slow and fast at
Right.
the same time. Like I felt like it was days, but I felt like it was seconds. Because not only did I had to figure out what my next move was.
Right.
Like I have to continue living after this big bomb is dropped in front of everybody that I know.
Now the whole world, like, even if the whole school at that point knew.
Yeah.
Was gonna know.
Yeah.
By tomorrow.
Of course. And at the end of the day, like, I just remember laying on the ground and crying and thinking to myself, you're dead. Like, whatever version of who I was
Right.
and built up and accumulated in that moment, that version
Shattered.
of Sherman died. Like, it was just, I became hard. I became isolated. I became like, I can't tell people my business. I can't put myself out
Right.
there because if this person would do this, and I don't hold any remorse. I'm not angry at him.
Right.
I don't hate him. Honestly, people are going to say you shouldn't say things like this, but I felt like that moment was a huge turning point to making me who I am today.
Yeah, no,
Like,
absolutely.
you know, so yeah, when he outed me in front of everybody, I just froze, and then I got up and sat in the back of the church, and I sat there, and the only thing I could think about was, what am I gonna?
I mean, you were like hot with embarrassment, like it's like
Yeah.
that weird feeling where you're just like, what is happening? Like, and then one thing I can't even say I relate to it because I don't know what I would do had that happened to me. Like had the porn been found on the family computer and someone would have said something, like I don't know what I would have done or what I would have said. I'm pretty sure it was found, but no one ever said anything. That's the thing, you know.
Yeah, but long story short, it just kind of like I said, the thing that I think saved me the most was in the black community and in the church. It's like LGBT, anything gay, you don't really talk about. So while it was like, oh, we prayed the gay away, it was also just never a topic. It was never anything talked about, never anything brought up.
Right.
My family still treated me the same to a certain extent, but I was more so concerned about what was going on mentally in myself than I was about what was happening. I was scared how my brothers was going to treat me or how some of my best friends were going to treat me.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the black community don't ask, don't tell, or don't like acknowledge anything that goes on. Kind of saved me because I didn't have to deal with repercussions of being bullied or people talking about me or anything like that. It was just kind of, and plus, mind you, I was in that moment. I was also angry because I was like, but I haven't done anything. You're calling me a homosexual when I haven't. I mean, I guess from the perspective of a 16-year-old, it's like I haven't sexually done anything with a guy or a girl, so I'm not anything.
Anyone really, yeah.
Like, you're labeling me, you're throwing me in this category. Plus, mind you, back then, the way gay people were viewed.
Oh, absolutely. Because
I was kind of like
same here. Like
pedophiles, creeps, all of those things, and all of those bad stigmas that came along with it is what scared me the most.
And you're sitting there, gay as can be, all of us, every single queer person who will listen to this, and people are saying these things when like we're existing in your space every second without you even acknowledging. I would say acknowledging. You can know, but you don't even acknowledge that we're like here. You know.
I don't know how people.
And guess who fucking raised us? Y'all.
Yeah. Like, you raised me, so if I'm gay, you made me gay.
Yeah, y'all did.
You did a poor job.
Y'all hear that?
I'm joking. I'm
Straight
totally
people
joking.
made
Mom
homosexuality.
And Dad, no, Mom and Dad, you did a great job.
No, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like that, like, we, no, I'm screaming now.
Go ahead. You're angry. I can see it. Like, his face is red. Like, he is mad.
A little brown, but, yeah, just like, where did it come from? Like, when I came out, it was like this. It was like I had dropped a bomb on the world, as if like the person that they had been seeing that whole time wasn't me. No, it's me. There was just this thing I couldn't tell you because people didn't talk about it. He said didn't talk about it. It would come up on TV. It would be a joke. Mm-hmm. It would be the next bus, and it would be like those blonde tipped Hollister wearing like twinks or whatever. Like that's what it was. And
you weren't represented correctly.
We weren't represented correctly, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, but also mostly it was a joke. It wasn't like this is an actual human being. It is the butt of the joke. Yeah. It's the queer. It's the faggot. It's the this. It's the that. It's the sissy. It's the you know what I'm saying? It's always a joke. It's the hairdresser. It's the buttercream from Rush Hour. You know what I'm saying? You remember that scene? You remember that? Like you remember that? Like that? How did like? Of course we kiki. Of course we laugh. Of course you know what I'm saying. But what the fuck is that like? Hairdresser's like, ooh yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? You know we wouldn't do that to a straight man. Like that's not like why would you know who?
Well, even in the end, like straight men have so many like there's so much dynamic and versatility with straight men that wouldn't represented in media.
Right.
Whereas gay people were either just the flamboyant,
hairdresser,
over the top, into fashion.
The assistant, the guy from Legally Blonde. Don't stomp your last season Prada shoes at me, honey. Like. You know? Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, things have advanced a little bit more now. They've become a little bit more, inclusive to the different types of gay men, But even then, I feel like, even then now, I feel like it's still like a perfect gay man. It's like the perfect job and the perfect husband. And they, you know what I'm saying? Like, being gay, and especially being a brown and black gay, it's like, Yeah,
it is different. Especially representation, especially like, we would have to do a whole other podcast about what it's like to be queer in a minority.
Yeah, I mean this is it. This is like the the moment like where people can like see a different perspective.
I mean this is true. I like to just say that at the end of the day, my takeaway from coming out and just everything that happened and transpired just made me. Anything that's ever happened to me negative in my life has always made me want to like prove people wrong or prove to myself that one, I'm not that or I'm stronger than what people might view me as. So I mean I think we're at like a 40-minute point. We've been talking for like 40 minutes now.
It feels like we've been talking for longer.
It really does. It really does. But we're definitely going to have to come back and do another one and talk about what it's like to be a minority in the gay community.
And that is going to be a reoccurring topic because it can't fit.
It's our life.
You can't.
It's who we are.
It can't fit into one episode, and especially if we talk about that one bar we go to in town.
Oh God, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
That's going to be dramatic. But thank you guys for coming and just listening to our podcast.
Yes, thank you guys so much for listening. It was an awesome time. Yeah, we're just gonna keep doing it, and like if you guys like it, we're gonna put out more content, more maybe add some drag race in there. You know, whatever you guys want to hear. I mean, I'm definitely game to whatever Sherman is too. So.
All right, we'll definitely do that. Well, thanks, guys. See you later.
Bye.